Welcome to Coding Challenges from the Challenges. In this coding challenge from the Challenge series, I'm sharing some of the common mistakes I see software engineers make when tackling the coding challenges. I'm sharing these mistakes that people make and some thoughts on how you can avoid making the same mistakes when you take on the coding challenges or when writing software professionally. Because sometimes we have to make mistakes to learn from them. Sometimes we can learn from other people's mistakes and then make our own new ones. In this coding challenge, the goal was to build JQ. It's a command line tool, a bit like SED, but for JSON data. You can use it to filter and transform JSON data, much like you would with SED, except for JSON. By the way, past coding challenge was to build your own SED tool. I'm also going to give some shout outs to some good things that I see in the solutions here, so that you can also learn from those and copy them. In the Build Your Own JQ coding challenge, the goal was to create a lightweight and flexible command line JSON processor. You can find the JQ challenge on the Coding Challenges website under Build Your Own JQ. So the mistake number one that I see people making when building JQ is instead of writing the JSON parser themselves, they use the built-in JSON parser and formatter from their programming language. Now, if you're a beginner, great, go ahead. Building any project is going to be useful in a way of developing your skills. If you're an intermediate to advanced software engineer, you have some experience, then consider building a JSON parser. By actually building the JSON parser, you will learn a lot more about how we can parse data formats, and that's a very useful skill to have. The second most common mistake I saw was only testing the happy path. Learning to code by building full working software is an incredibly effective way of learning. It exposes you to all the problems and challenges you face when building software on your own. When you watch a tutorial and copy someone else's code, you don't see all the problems they face, the brick walls they hit along the way, and the edge cases that have them scratching their heads for hours, days, or weeks. You just see the final, perfected solution. Watching a tutorial and just testing the happy path with simple, safe inputs deprives you of that key learning opportunity. So, I encourage you to think about edge cases and test them. Think about ways invalid input might appear and test your software against it. You'll learn a lot. The third mistake is a consequence of mistake number two, and that is not adding error handling. Sure, writing error handling isn't as exciting as solving a complicated system design problem or coding up an efficient solution to an algorithmic challenge, but it is a common and key part of the job of software engineers. Without good error handling, our software will almost certainly crash as soon as it's exposed to the real world. Users and the real world have this amazing ability to use our software in ways we didn't intend, providing input we haven't considered and thought about. So by building good error handling, we make our software robust, give us a framework to record useful logging and metrics, help us understand how the software has been used and what conditions we need to handle. In short, learning to consider error conditions and write code that handles them and test that code to ensure that error handling work is a key part of software engineering. It's a skill you need to keep your job and progress through your career. Now, I don't want to just highlight mistakes, although we can learn from them. I want to highlight some of the good things that people do as well. My first shout out today is to Lorenz, and that is for his README. He provided a great README for his solution, and I really like that he provided an introduction, what is this repo about, a description of what the code does and how it's going to be implemented, described how it's built, he showed some final results, he explained how to build, test, and use the code, and he provided some example usage. And finally, he included a to-do list and a list of known bugs. This is a very, very good README for a project of this size. When you're building your own projects, think about how you can do that, and it will be a useful portfolio project for you as well. Shout out number two also goes to Lorenz, because he didn't just build JQ, he built on top of his solution to the Build Your Own JSON parser, as he describes in his README here. If you're interested, you can check out the Build Your Own JSON parser on the Coding Challenges website here. Again, going into this level is a great way to learn about parsing, really useful tool for building network protocols and command line tools and data ingestion tools to ingest and manage and parse data. I hope you found this video useful. If you've got suggestions of how I can make this series better, or you have suggestions for other coding challenges, please reach out to me, either in the comments below, or you'll find my contact details on challenge. If you found it useful, please consider subscribing and liking. And again, all feedback is welcome. Thank you. Have a great day.